I'm Rossi Morielli, and I've loved machines ever since I was a little kid. Now, I'm getting up close and personal with the people and the technology that make the best machines on the planet to find out what makes them tick. Any idea what this is? No? Let me give you a clue. It's the most dangerous vehicle on the planet. Still not sure? Well, when all this comes together, it creates the most fearsome machine on the battlefield. This is the Abrams M-1 tank. The armored muscle of the U.S. Army. I'm going to find out the secret of its success. Meet the people who build it.
So this is it. This is the moment of truth. Come together. Two becomes one.
And the soldiers who depend on it. Then, put this tank to the ultimate test.
I'm telling you what, this is as real as it gets.
The M1 tank is the most sophisticated and lethal fighting machine on Earth. But if you want to build one, where do you begin? Well, right here, in the backlot of Joint Systems Manufacturing Center in Lima, Ohio, with these old rusting tank hulls. Why? Because the M1 tank is recycled.
Well, they're about to go through a process where they will come out a 0 miles, state-of-the-art, top-of-the-line M1 tank. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why not just build new tanks? Well, the fact is, here at General Dynamics, they haven't built a new tank since the mid-90s. Why? Well, you guys have heard the term built like a tank. These things were, and they basically last forever.
Stripped of every component and shot blasted back to base metal, this is known as a rusty.
Am I going to the back?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm going to follow it as it travels through the factory to see how, in just 10 weeks, over 22,000 separate components turn it into a 70-ton tank.
There we go. Now, I just loaded a 35,000-pound tank onto a trailer. And apparently now I'm in charge of driving it into the shop, so let's see how this goes.
This rusty hull might be old, but the basic design is even older. What makes it tick has hardly changed since tanks first crashed through the German trenches in World War I. First, the hull and tracks where the driver sits. They provide the mobility, the means to move in hard and gain ground fast. Next, the turret, which holds the crew and houses the firepower. It's the tank's means of eliminating the enemy. Finally, protection. A shroud of almost impenetrable steel gives the tank the ability to take a direct hit and still engage the enemy. The key to a successful tank is keeping these ingredients in balance. Something the M1 has just right. Back in the factory, our Rusty has joined the production line. Working at full capacity, more than 800 people turn out 12 new tanks a week. I think I'd better get started.
Safety first. Look at that. We haven't even started yet, and I'm already dirty.
I've teamed up with Kevin Umfleet for some good old-fashioned hard work. As a welder, his job is to modify the hull to fit the tank's new state-of-the-art technology. This is the first stage of turning our rusty hull into the latest and greatest fighting machine.
All right, so Kevin, here we are. We got a rusty. Now, what are you guys doing with it right now?
We're cutting out and removing everything that's not necessary for the new version.
All these brackets, things like this that might have worked for the old technology or the old tanks. You're just removing it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a technique I should know?
It grinds better if you tip it up a little bit.
Seems simple enough, except these holes were built to last. Many of them have been around since the late 70s, so they don't give in easily.
Woo! What is this stuff made of? What was
high hard steel, really high carbon content.
High carbon?
High hard steel, it's armor.
How thick?
This part here, Probably about 3/4, but it gets up to 2.5 inches thick.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it may be armored steel, but I'm finally getting the better of it. At least Kevin seems impressed.
Woo!
You got it down. You can do this, and I'll just go to the break.
This works out for you, doesn't it? You a little day off?
Next time I'm looking for somebody to grind, I'm going to recommend you.
You know what? Don't. But thank you. I appreciate it.
With the grinding complete, our Rusty now enters the weld shop. Here, they attach hundreds of new brackets. The guys tell me a finished tank contains over 1.5 miles of welds, weighing in at over 3/4 of a ton. Now it's nearly ready to paint, but the rust has got to come off first. In a giant spray booth, the tank is blasted with tiny steel pellets fired under massive pressure.
It's just blowing all around the room and just hitting this and knocking all the rust off. Correct.
But when the tank comes out, it's still covered in steel pellets, so it needs a little housework.
My mom would be so proud right now. I've been vacuuming since I was like 7.
Once cleaned up, it's into the paint shop. Now I could have any color I like, but these days, desert brown is all the rage. There it is, the ultimate makeover. We'll come back to it later.
One of the key components that makes a tank an amazing vehicle is its mobility. Now, we all know tanks have tracks, but what is it about those tracks that allows a tank to go practically over any type of terrain, and what in the world powers a 70-ton vehicle?
Let's take a look here.
The man with the answers is General Dynamics Chief Engineer Carl Carless.
The treads on a tank will help it go just about anywhere, especially more than what a wheeled vehicle will be able to accomplish.
And why is that?
Because of the amount of surface contact that you get between the track, as opposed to just the amount of surface contact you get with a tire.
Do you know how many pounds per square inch this tank is?
It's about 15.4 pounds per square inch.
15.4 pounds. I mean, we're talking about like a man walking, right, ideally. So this tank, being a 70-ton tank,
Yes.
treads that lightly because there's such a big, basically a big print.
Yes, because you're able to spread that weight across the entire surface of the track.
I want to test out how these tracks give the tank its amazing mobility. Starting with this terrifying 60-degree slope.
Wow. Are you kidding me? This tank right now is 60 degrees in the air. We're looking up. We're standing here. Total control. Unbelievable the things this machine can do.
Each track has 156 individual rubber pads, which means the tank's 70 tons sticks to the road.
Pull the park brake, let it roll down. All right, nice job, Tobe. Nice job.
All right, so how about a very different type of terrain?
Of course it goes underwater. It does everything.
So now, how will this 70-ton tank handle 5-inch speed bumps at full throttle? I think I'd better hang on. At this speed, these bumps would destroy any ordinary suspension system. But the M1 is different. Each of the tank's 14 road wheels sits on a dampened suspension arm. Working independently, they provide each wheel with up to 15 inches of give.
Now, the faster you go, actually, the smoother it is.
I mean, are you kidding me? We just went over like 20 bumps and I think I jarred for a second, like an inch up and down.
Our high-speed camera reveals how this tank just soaks up these bumps.
Literally, if I had a glass of water, I'd have never spilled a drop. All right, we're good to go.
And finally, the emergency stop.
So we're gonna get this thing up to 25 miles an hour, slam on the brakes, and apparently it will stop within 1 tank length. I hope I don't go flying over the top of that turret. Wow!
As the brakes are applied, the tracks lock and those pads produce enough friction to stop us, well, dead in our tracks. Amazing. Up next, I take a crash course in tank driving. I get to feel the firepower in the belly of this beast.
What?
And later, the tank faces the ultimate test. I'm Rossi Morielli, and I'm on a journey to discover what makes the Abrams M-1 tank tick and what it can do. And later, I'm gonna push it to the limit. Woo! But one thing's clear. This beast of battle has the agility and traction to deal with almost any terrain. Desert, swamp. But moving this tank fast takes massive power. I'm back in the factory following a tank being built. Before it's truly mobile, one vital element needs to be dropped into place. The engine or the power pack. This 5-ton giant is both the engine and transmission combined. Philip Bellinger is in charge.
This is a monster of an engine. What do we got here?
1,500 horse Honeywell turbine motor.
English, Phil, English.
Jet engine.
Okay, even better.
Oil cooler, air cooler, hydraulic pump, fuel pump. Your starter generator down here, this is what starts the whole thing. Just this little section is the turbine. This is all transmission.
Sounds complicated, but the guys here tell me this works like a jet aircraft engine. Clean air is sucked in and pressurized. Fuel is injected and ignited. The resulting hot air spins the turbines. And that powers the transmission. This baby is so powerful that they had to restrict it to 1,500 horsepower. Although Phil says you can tweak it to produce a whopping 2,300 horses.
How fast would that tank go if this thing was taking 2,300 horsepower?
Well, if it was in the battle override, it could run roughly up to 70.
70 miles an hour in a 70-ton vehicle.
Correct.
Goodness gracious. I mean, that's some power, right?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That power gets delivered to the drive wheels at the rear of the tank. No surprise that the wheel bolts need to be 50 times tighter than the ones on my car.
That's right.
Powerful as this engine is, it does have one mortal enemy: dirt and dust.
What happens if a dirt gets in a turbine engine?
It'll destroy it within a matter of minutes.
And do they run into problems out there being in the desert?
In the beginning it was, but now they're basically self-cleaning.
Not only does it have 18 inches of air filter, an air blast blows out larger particles if they're sucked in. With our tank mobile, it's now the world's most gnarly ride. But what's it like to drive this monster? To find out, I'm going to school at the Army's Training Center at Fort Knox, Kentucky. If I'm going to drive the real thing, I need to prove myself first in something a little less dangerous.
Yep.
Sergeant Bratcher is one of Fort Knox's most senior instructors.
All right, Sergeant, what is this contraption?
Okay, this is basically the tank driver simulator.
Well, how do we start? What do we do?
Well, first thing we're going to do is protect your noggin. It's going to mess up your hair a little bit, but it'll be okay.
Great. What is with the Army and messing up my hair?
Well, that's why we don't have a lot.
Okay, makes sense.
The driver sits in the center of the tank, in front of his crew in the turret.
This is your driver's control. The tighter you want to turn, the harder you push it over.
Mounted on pneumatic rams, the simulator mimics the movement of a real tank.
Clear to the rear.
It is clear to the rear, driver. Push the start button and hold it. Pull the handle, release the parking brake.
Check.
Shift it into drive.
Got it.
Give a little bit of throttle, and the tank will begin to move.
I gotta remember, my tank weighs 70 tons and is 12 feet wide.
We drive in a lot of urban environments.
Right.
If you don't control the vehicle, if you cut the corner, you can take down a building. Like
Right.
I said, 70 tons will do a lot of damage without even trying.
And just like the real tank, the faster I go, the smoother it runs.
You won't really feel so much the bump until you hit the hard bump, which you're about 50.
Oh. Why do I feel like you sent me there on purpose?
Because I did. Now, when you go to turn, tanks turn from the middle.
As I turn to the right, the transmission reduces the speed of the right-hand track. the tank rotates and swings to the right. This gives incredible maneuverability for such a large vehicle. By running one train forward and the other backward, the tank can even pivot on the spot.
Hey!
Artillery fire.
We got artillery. Mortars on my right. Gunner, get him!
Just as I'm getting the hang of this, Sergeant Bratcher decides to turn up the heat. And then I take a direct hit.
Did we get him?
I think we got hit there.
TC, my brakes are out.
No steering. He has no
Oh,
brakes.
well, lost steering.
With no steering and no brakes, I'm just a passenger in a runaway tank.
That was what we call the black screen of death.
Okay, so my mission came to an abrupt end. But guess what? Now I'm gonna drive the real thing.
I'm finally gonna get control of this 70-ton beast. I cannot wait. All right, are we ready, boys? This is it. The steering's a little weird, but I think I got good control of it. I got a 120mm cannon above my head. That's a little intimidating. All right, coming up my first turn. Gonna try to make it nice and smooth. All right, so I'm moving at 22 miles an hour right now in the tank. This thing is super smooth. It does actually feel like a Cadillac. I can't believe it. The shocks are working. The tracks are amazing. Switching to low gear. But this is the baddest machine on the face of the earth. And I just drove it. 120mm smooth bore cannon. It is the biggest, baddest thing out there. But what can it do, and how exactly does it do it? Well, there's only one way to find out.
What it can do is dominate the battlefield. As the largest weapon on any tank, the math is simple. The larger the gun, the larger the shell, the bigger the bang. How does it do it? Well, that takes some pretty impressive technology. In the factory, our tank is fitted with this 14-foot, 500-pound monster. It's a job that calls for skill and care.
There you go.
With the gun fitted, the turret's now lowered into a cradle, which mimics all the controls of the tank. It's Greg Gabalis' job to calibrate the gun and sighting systems to within the width of a single dime. I'm in the gunner's position, and he's handed me control of this mighty gun.
Okay, turn on hydraulics.
Driven by powerful hydraulics, it responds to even the slightest touch.
There you go, nice and easy, nice and smooth. All right.
The gunner finds targets by using high-powered optics and a laser rangefinder which calculates their distance. Once locked on, the ballistics computer calculates a trajectory, taking account of wind speed, air temperature, and even the gravitational pull of the Earth. When calibrated, this tank will accurately destroy targets more than 2 miles away. The M1 is also fitted with hunter-killer capabilities. A second set of sights means the tank commander can scan independently for other targets.
If I'm on a target and I've got an enemy in sight, you can be searching for other
That's right.
enemies?
You're doing the killing on tank 1. I'm looking for tank 2. I lock on to tank 2. I hit a button over here on my handle, and I'm able to drive you right to that point, put you on target.
With the new target acquired, a flick of the switch rotates the turret in just seconds.
Right there, I'll put you on target, bang.
Fantastic. This is some power. I feel pretty tough. Yeah, this is cool.
That power extends to the M1's ability to see in any conditions, even in the dark. Using the thermal viewer, I can now find targets by detecting their heat signatures.
Oh my gosh. I can tell you he's got a pin in his right pocket.
So, for the enemy, there's just no hiding from the M1 tank.
That's why these tanks own the night, because they can see just as well at night as they do at day.
What's most amazing is the targeting system still works while racing across the bumpiest ground.
Once you go into stabilized mode, the weapon will stay wherever that target is that you've put it on. So whether or not the hull continues to move, the weapon will actually move on its own once it's locked on. Say you're going up or down a hill.
That's pretty clever, but how does it do it?
There's obviously different sensors and electronic capability within the system. It tells the ballistic computer what position the hull is to the turret. It also tells the whole vehicle what position it is in relation to the flatness of the earth. It sends a signal through to the hydraulic system that sends the turret and the gun to that location, stays there, and you're locked on.
This system means the tank can even do this. As you can see, we can literally go in 360, and the turret does not move. It stays locked in its target the entire time. It's absolutely amazing. As impressive as this gun is, I still haven't seen it fire.
3, 2,
Up next,
1.
how armor technology is fighting fire with fire. Later, I feel the pressure of being a gunner.
Got him. Done.
And discover how battle can push tanks to the limit. I'm up early and heading deep into the Kentucky countryside. For obvious reasons, the gunnery range here at Fort Knox is miles from anywhere.
When this tank goes up and fires, how close can I get to it?
I wouldn't recommend you get closer than 150 yards from the tank.
150 yards?
Yes.
Now, why is that?
Well, it's going to create a blast envelope. It's going to change the air pressure in that area, and it's going to cause a little bit of a concussion.
As the tank pulls into their firing positions, I need to get back to a safe distance.
All right, so this is it. Whew. The tank is ready to shoot live rounds. We're finally going to get to see it. There's a group of rookie lieutenants in there right now. They're about to shoot a 6-foot by 6-foot square wood board from 1,200 yards away. We got to put our earplugs in because apparently we'll go deaf if we don't. So this is it. I'm excited. Let's check it out.
Inside the tank, the crew must now work as a team. First, the driver will back the tank out of battle position, giving a clearer view of the target. Next, the gunner has to find and identify the target using his super powerful optics. Then, the loader will place a 120mm round into the breech of the main gun. Finally, as the tank rolls forward into its firing position, the tank commander issues the fire command.
Wow, that was awesome. Imagine all the bass in the world going off at the exact same time. Just, it just runs right through your body. As you can see where he shot, it raised the dust on the road as the bullet passed by. That's how fast it was going. That's how loud it was. Tucked in, there's like 3 guys in that little bitty space, and that thing's...
The recoil of the gun rocks the whole tank.
What?
In slow motion, you can actually see the round as it leaves the barrel, frozen at 3,000 miles per hour. Even the pressure and heat wave are visible as it explodes outwards.
The most important thing about this tank is survivability, making sure the 4 soldiers inside this tank come home safe. Now, unfortunately for us, but for good reason, the details about this tank's armor are classified. But one thing's for sure, armor has come a long way since tanks were first used back in World War I.
The earliest tanks were lightly armored with just a ½ inch of steel boilerplate. But as the threats grew bigger, armor got thicker and heavier and began to slow tanks down. So in the 1930s, the Russians invented sloping armor. The slope increases the thickness of armor a shell has to penetrate along its line of travel. It also means that some projectiles can just bounce off. Today's M1 tanks still use sloping armor. They also use a top secret recipe of steel and ceramic plates to provide the equivalent of 2 feet of metal. But in modern urban warfare, where cities and towns are the new battlegrounds, and homemade explosives and RPGs are the new threats, armor technology has to keep up. The very latest now fights fire with fire. Dr. Van Romero has led the way in developing a new breed of explosive armor that reacts to enemy fire. But first, let's see what damage enemy weapons can do to 6 inches of armored steel. The same stuff that tanks are made of.
What this round has is a cutting charge in it. It's a copper jet that will shoot, and it explosively launches through these metal plates.
What kind of damage does it do once it comes through there?
It's a fireball. So essentially you're turning a fireball loose inside the turret of the tank. Well, as you well know, there's not a whole lot of room in there. Anybody or anything in there is probably going to get burned up.
So we're now officially locked into the bunker?
We're down in the bunker, so we're in a safe spot.
Do we need to stock up on water and crackers and flashlight batteries just in case it all goes wrong?
No, I think we'll be okay for now, but we'll see a little bit later today.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, okay. So that was a pretty big explosion.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Tables semi-destroyed, blocks nowhere to be found.
At normal speed, it's impossible to tell what has happened. But the high-speed camera reveals the truth.
Here's the detonation of the warhead.
Right.
It fires. Now the shape charge shoots right through it. See that molten steel?
Yeah.
That's what you'd encounter if you were inside the tank.
Wow.
Okay, so not real good. Once it gets in that turret, it's lighting it up. It's a fireball.
Yeah. All right.
So, as you can see, it came right through.
Wow. There you go. Right to the other side.
Right.
If this had been a real tank, its crew would surely be dead. So the M-1 tank can be fitted with something that prevents this. And Dr. Romero wants to show me how it works.
We're going to make a sandwich.
Okay.
Brad's putting that in there.
Thin layers of explosive, called data sheet, are laid against the tank's armor. Then, another thinner sheet of steel, called a flyer plate, is added on the outside.
So now what happens is the round hits this flyer plate first.
Okay.
And starts a lot of pressure and a lot of heat to go into the data sheet.
Okay.
When the pressure and heat hits the data sheet, it'll detonate. And what that does is it shoots the flyer plate out. It flies into the round.
The beauty of this reactive armor is its simplicity. Easily attached to vulnerable parts of the tank, the reactive armor protects without adding much weight.
And so you're essentially just fighting fire with fire.
That's right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Wow. And there's no more table.
Again, running at normal speed, it's impossible to tell what happened. But on the high-speed camera, this time the result is very different.
Now we have a lot more fireball outside.
Right, going this direction.
Going this direction.
Okay.
You see any jet coming out?
I do not. I see nothing going that direction.
Right, there's no jet. Now if you were inside that tank, you'd get rocked around a little bit.
Sure.
But no fireball inside the tank.
Remember, this was the same type of charge set against identical steel blocks. The only difference, the one below has the reactive armor. It looks like it did the job, but only the blocks can tell us for sure. If we can find them.
Pretty violent reaction. It's like they just found one on the side of the hill and there he is out there.
All the way up there?
All the way up there, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
So here it is.
Wow.
We're about 150 yards out.
Still a little hot.
It's still a little hot. The jet should have gone all the way through that, right?
Yeah.
You'll see that it didn't come out the back side.
So it didn't even go 3 inches. Before, it went right through 6 inches.
And it didn't even make it through 3 inches. It's an incredible technology that saves lives, and it's very simple.
There's no electronics, there's no trigger. We don't have to sense the incoming round. It's just the pure physics of the explosives and the metal interaction. It's going to work every time.
Well, job well done. You guys are doing some amazing things here.
Thanks for coming out. Come by anytime. We'll blow something up for you.
I've seen how clever the gun control systems are. Now I want to find out what it takes to join the crew as a gunner. These strange-looking objects may look like porta potties, but in fact, they are the ultimate in simulation technology. Every rookie tanker in the U.S. Army has to spend hours locked into one of these small boxes here at Fort Knox.
I know what you're thinking. Why would they have to do that? Well, actually, because it's a tank. Kind of a tight fit, yeah?
Of course. You are the gunner on the M-1 A2 SEP, the 120mm smoothbore cannon slaved to the most sophisticated fire control system in the world. And you are at the helm.
I feel good about it. I got to tell you, I feel like a better, tougher, stronger man than I've ever felt like in my entire life right now.
And this is it, man.
Scott Perry trains rookies here at the Armor School in Fort Knox.
Now, what you want to do is you want to get your crosshairs center mass between the hull and the turret.
All right.
And you're going to laze to that target.
Laze.
In just a few moments, I'm due to take part in a real exercise with a real tank crew. Scott is coaching me on the correct firing procedure so I can fire this gun safely.
Gunner, say about tank, up! Identify.
Identified.
Fire.
On the way.
You can't squeeze the trigger without saying on the way first.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, I guess the on the way first.
Better let me know on the way first.
On the way first.
Yeah.
Do that, sir.
On the way first.
You just say you can squeeze that trigger on the Y of way.
On the way, squeeze.
Yes, sir.
What happens if I fire and I don't say on the way, or I say it late?
I may have my I may be looking out here, have my elbow here somewhere, that breech come
So
back.
I'm essentially saying, guys, this is about to come back into the tank.
Yes.
On the way.
On the way is letting the loader know, hey,
Here it
that
comes.
breech is coming. Okay, you want to try it again?
Yes.
Eventually, I start to get the hang of it. I even managed to switch to the machine gun.
Tank. There you go. Keep going right. There you go. The more you see, the more you shoot.
Although,
Scan right.
I may be getting a little too trigger happy.
Right.
Oh, how you doing?
Hold on. That's a friendly vehicle.
Oh, that is?
Oh, yeah. That's
yeah.
one of your buddies there. It would be very detrimental to your career.
And, yeah, if I shot my own guy?
Yes. It's called fratricide. We do not take that lightly at all. It gets very ugly.
The change in Scott's tone brings home the reality of what we're doing here. This is serious stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of yelling with a lot of terms I don't really understand. But I think I got it. I mean, essentially, I put the crosshairs in the middle, laze and blaze, and just gotta let my guys know that it's on the way.
And it's all done within the fire command.
Okay, a little pressure.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But now, the training's over.
We have got to know our engagement area.
I'm joining a real exercise with real rookie tankers. Our objective is to engage and destroy enemy tanks and troop carriers. Everything about this exercise is designed to feel real. And it's a tight squeeze as we climb into the simulator. I'm in the gunner's position, and I'm joined by the loader and the tank commander. Our crew is tank Blue 4.
Blue 4, Black 6.
Our instructors, in the control room, begin to attack us with a column of Russian tanks. Normal procedure is to take cover in holes like this, so we are hard for the enemy to spot. But I've got a problem.
I got bush in front of me, can't see anything. What is that? 2,500 meters, I got something.
As the battle begins, it's impossible to return fire. We're too deep in our hole.
My sights are messed up, they're not moving down. I can't move down. I can only move up, you gotta back up.
Backing up now means we have the back of the tank stuck up in the air, making us a prime target. And I can't hit anything.
On the way! I'm hitting the ground.
And the instructors are not impressed.
4's not gonna kill nothing. He don't know what he's doing.
On the way!
Right in the deck.
That's embarrassing.
Damn it!
Quit backing out of your fighting position. Pull all the way forward and you can engage over.
Finally, we get into the correct position.
On the way. Got him.
But the enemy now seems to be appearing as fast as I can kill him.
Ready? On the way. All right, got one in front of us. In front of us.
Eventually, the sheer number of enemies overwhelms us.
Got him. Done.
Grab all your crew members and bring them into the AR room over.
So how did I do?
Little rough at first. Tank was backing out of the fighting position to fire instead of moving forward. And that's bad because you exposed the rear engine compartment to enemy fire rather than the frontal part of the tank where most of the armor is.
Okay.
But it seemed like you knew what was going on, so not bad for the first time.
I feel like I can get the hang of this. I feel like I can be a tanker and be part of a team and help and not hurt.
It is a wonderful feeling to be part of a tank crew.
I can imagine.
At Fort Knox, rookies aren't just trained to operate the tank. They've also got to be able to fix it anywhere. An immobile tank in the field is a sitting duck, so getting it going could be a matter of life and death.
I guess apparently if you're gonna drive the tank, shoot the tank, do a lot of the cool stuff, you gotta know how to fix the tank. So, it is time for me to go to work.
Staff Sergeant Fleischer. I'm 2nd Battalion, 81st Armor.
I'm civilian Rossi Morielli. I have 0 experience, and I'm here to learn.
And the next thing I've got to learn is how to change tracks. A dirty job, but essential to keep the tank running. Slackening the suspension on the front wheel is the first challenge. Now, why do I think this is going to be easier said than done? It's like trying to separate the links on a giant bicycle chain. But these links have been together for so long, they don't want to come apart.
All right.
Why do you trust him that much to hit that with a sledgehammer?
I trust him with my life, sir. Do you trust him?
You trust me with your life?
I have insurance, sir.
If you can't trust me with your life, insurance is a good number 2. All right.
Yeah, that was
20 minutes of smashing, swearing, and sweating later, we finally managed to wrestle the 4,500 pounds of stubborn rubber and steel into submission.
almost.
As we back the tank up and the track rolls off, we have to watch out that it doesn't snag.
Got it. Because if that fell between, we're screwed.
Right.
So that's the first lesson. Now to put it back on. But how do you lift 2.5 tons of track?
So we're going to use this rope and the sprocket to do our work for us.
Okay.
Okay?
It's called working smarter, not harder, right?
Pretty much.
All right.
Clever. As the tank rolls forward, the rear sprockets drag the track back into place.
Good. All right.
Just the last few inches to go. Remember, these tracks are stubborn as hell. Driven by a tool called an impact gun, the jack pulls the two ends of the track together.
If you didn't have the impact gun,
we'd be using the ratchet.
This would take all day long.
Yes. Yes, it would.
The job's done. The tank is mobile again and ready for duty. The question is, am I ready for life on the front line? Later, I'm joining a full-scale exercise in the desert. But first, I want to see our Abrams M-1 tank reach the end of the production line. In just 6 weeks, our rusty hull has gone from this to this, and it's now ready for the most important stage in its life, marriage.
Okay.
That's what these guys call it when they join or marry the turret to the hull. It's the most crucial part of the tank's construction.
So this is it. We're fixing to take the two key pieces. The turret, right here, 24 tons. The hull,
About 35.
35 tons. Marry them together, boom.
With the turret hovering over the tank, this is crunch time.
Not much room for error in this part.
Now? So this is it.
Yep.
This is the moment of truth.
Come together. 2 becomes 1.
The guys must maneuver this turret with inch-perfect precision.
They got to communicate perfectly. They have literally less than an inch of space on each side. They got to drop it in perfectly. So.
A single mistake here could wreck both turret and hull. It would cost millions of dollars and delay delivery of our tank by weeks. In this normally noisy factory, you can now hear a pin drop.
That's it?
That's it.
So, a happy marriage of hull and turret, and our tank is complete.
Well, here it is, the finished product. A brand new, state-of-the-art M-1 A1 tank.
It can now begin its journey from factory to front line, which is where I'm headed next. I've done my training, and I'm off to a war zone, but this one's in California.
I'm here at Fort Irwin, where the Army comes to train in the most realistic environments imaginable. And I'm going to spend the next couple of days with some of the baddest dudes in the Army, the 1st Cavalry Division,
to discover how tanks on the battlefield face up to the ultimate test. More than 4,000 soldiers and their fighting machines have set up camp in the heat and dust of the Mojave Desert. Here there are real-looking towns populated by hundreds of extras. With true-to-life roleplay and laser firing, soldiers here face as real a situation as you can get without going to the front line. I've joined D Company and our mission has just come through. We're going to be the heavyweight protection for the EOD guys, the Explosives Disposal Team. They're going into a town after a bomb blast and a tip-off about an arms cache.
This is it. Anything can happen. We got to be prepared.
The mobility of these machines is awesome to see out here in the desert, especially traveling at speed and in formation. Their secure communication systems mean they can efficiently coordinate any operation or plan of attack.
All right, driver pulling up.
Tensions running high in the town after the explosion. So our tanks are ready for anything. Our first job is to contain the situation.
So right now we had to move one tank to the front of the city, one tank to the back of the city to block the roads to make sure no one comes in or comes out. All right, so we're sitting outside the city right now because we had to get down because there are snipers in the buildings. So we're staying low. Right now the EOD is doing what they do, checking and getting rid of some explosive devices. And we are just out here for security, patrolling the area to make sure that everyone's safe.
While we patrol the edge of town, the guys track down the cache of mortars. All that remains is to dispose of them as quickly as possible. We stand guard, weapons ready, as they are taken out to the desert and neutralized. It's a quick but intense mission that gives me a sense of the real tension and danger of warfare. And now I'm convinced that the M1 tank is truly an amazing fighting machine. It's got all it needs to pass the ultimate test. Protection, to keep the soldiers safe. Firepower, to take out enemies more than 2 miles away. And mobility, to handle virtually any terrain at speed. It's been great to get up close to one of the world's most awesome machines. The Abrams M1 tank is a marvel of advanced technology, and it's also a beast with real fire in its belly.
I'll tell you what, if I was any type of enemy in any type of vehicle, I would be scared when this big, bad machine rolled into town.